Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So it's somewhere around, I don't know, 3:45. It is 24.6 Celsius, 71% humidity. 9/29 Tuesday, 76 degrees. And it looks like most of that agrees with it, and that's actually supposedly the exact time, because you see that thing up there, that's like one of those atomic clock things. So, welcome to Tuesday. What am I up to? There are positive things and negative things that happen when you have a hoard. Every once in a while, the hoard eats one of your possessions, and it ate a vacuum pump. I can't find a vacuum pump. It should be new in the box, all ready to go, and I can't find it. As a matter of fact, it should be right next to this, because I bought the vacuum pump and I bought the gauges when I was going to fix the air conditioning in the F-150. And I found this, and I'm not finding the, so I found the gauges, I'm not finding the pump. Very frustrating. So, this is what it gave, and this is what I found. This is a pack. I have two of these. This is one, and here's the second one. This was the first one, and it disappeared on me. I was going crazy looking for it, and I found it. And it's interesting because I found a few other things. I don't know if you recognize that character. That's my friend Glade that passed on, and that's Darby's mother, and that's Darby the dog. Darby the dog moved to a new family before I started this whole YouTube gig. So also in here were some pictures. That's the Ranger taking home a load of stuff, Kia, an old camper that I had floating around, and so if I had a guess, I bought that car in '02. That's my son riding one of the ATC 70s. That was the kitchen before we remodeled it. This was a high school reunion. That's my wife and my old high school girlfriend. The old high school girlfriend. Always interesting to go back to the reunions. So, I mean, it was interesting to find this, but it would have been even better to be able to find that vacuum pump I was after. I've never done air conditioning for a living. I know nothing about. I know the theory of air conditioning, right? You compress a gas to a liquid. When you compress it, you create heat, and then when the liquid goes back to gas, that takes heat. So one side where you're compressing the liquid, obviously you end up with heat, which is what your air conditioner blows out, or if you got a heat pump, you're blowing that heat into your room, and where the gas is then expanding back to a vapor, you end up with a chilling effect. That expansion creates a chilling effect, and I'm sure there's some physicist whose name goes along with that, but at the moment I don't recall that name. And you can see this gauge package is set up for 134A. Given that this is one of those ultra high efficiencies, it uses our 410A. By the way, Mitsubishi stuff is now made in Thailand. Nice, huh? So anyway, here's the outside, the compressor, and this is the inside piece. I'm going to call it the radiator. It's got a name that probably somebody else I should be using, but so anyway, so the air conditioner stuff is here. Upstairs, I haven't brought it down yet. I have the pipe, the plumbing that goes top to bottom. It in a foam jacket. You have two pipes. I guess one is the liquid pipe and the other one is the vapor pipe. I'm not sure. Once again, I'm not positive how this whole mess is working. So anyway, there's two for the air conditioning. Then there's one that takes the condensate away, you know, the liquid from inside. Fall colors are happening now, guys. Boy, what a difference a week makes, eh? And then obviously the electrical connections you need, because the outside unit powers the inside unit. The outside unit is 220. I believe the inside unit is 110 and 120, 125, whatever. So I have that part of the setup inside. If one buys a vacuum pump, and this is somewhat of a question, I guess, and you want to evacuate the lines, my understanding is the compressor's all charged on this rig, and the top is supposedly evacuated, but the problem are the lines in between, that they have to be purged out and dried out so there's no moisture in them, and then you kind of open valves and the Freon goes from top to bottom and everybody's all happy. That's what I'm picking up needs to be done. I have a friend of mine who actually does vacuum HVAC for a living, so he'll be helping me out with that. But I still wanted to come up with the tools needed to do this, because once I see him do it, I want to learn how to do it. Then should I ever have to service this, or should I decide to install another one, a small unit for elsewhere in the house, I could do that, right? I want, that's, you know, one of the things I collect is knowledge, and anyway, Harbor Freight only sells this piece of crap, R134A. If you want to do 410A, they seem to have a different a set of gauges with different ends on them. I guess each Freon uses a different termination. So I looked it up, you know, where I get most of my knowledge from. I looked it up on eBay, and it looks like I can buy the gauge package and I can buy another pump, and it's going to cost me somewhere around $180, which doesn't make me happy, but if that's what I need to do this job, obviously I'm stuck, right? What am I going to do? I want to do this, so that's what it's going to cost. Now, if I get the one for 410A and I get the vacuum pump, I guess my question is, does it come with all the fittings necessary to pump this rig out? Or am I going to be scrambling for some little piece of crap about this big with a goes into on one side and it goes out to on the other, something like, you know, this mess, you know, where I'm trying to hook up cheese to bacon. You know, I need the cheese to bacon adapter to be able to pull a vacuum on those lines. I mean, to me, it strikes me as if, given that this whole thing is supposed to slam right together, that there are already valves with a T, so I can evacuate this part of the, right? This is the valve, or this is the coupler, so to speak. And then there's a little T, so I can evacuate from that T, right? I mean, I'm thinking that that's all set up, and once all is said and done, these valves have Schraders on them, and you take the fitting off and the Schrader closes, then you put a little cap on it, and so this is closed. And once again, now all I have to do is open the two valves, and the top and the vacuum lines are all and the refrigerant lines are all evacuated and all happy, and then the Freon flows in there. Then you take out your little Freon detector and check everything out, and we're all fat, dumb, and happy, right? I mean, that's what I think. I don't know if any of you guys have installed one of these. I'm just trying to pick up some knowledge. Obviously, my buddy will show me what needs to be done and teach me everything I need to be taught. But yeah, if you guys could help me out. So that's one kind of major project to go with all the other projects that's cooking. And I think I showed you this stuff. I was ranting that they sent me the stuff with the holes in it, and I didn't want the stuff with the holes in it. I wanted it solid. Spoke to the engineer. He's going to send me the right stuff. Anyway, I finally got the tape. This whole project, giving myself a reflective ceiling in my upper garage. When's all said and done, including the new electric stapler with a load of staples, I'll probably be looking at about $200. So between the vapor barrier that stuff is going to provide, and the reflective is supposed to reflect the infrared heat back downward, and it's also supposed to reflect the cold upward, though I don't know if you could reflect cold. But anyway, that's supposed to really, my theory is, and we'll see how well this works out, my theory is that should give me a nice warm garage. If it works, you know, for some of the other guys out there, like Dizzy, I don't know if he wants to improve how warm his shop is, but that might help him out a little bit. And even William Staten, you know, up on his ceiling, you know, some of you guys, I don't know, we'll see how well it works. I'm hoping it makes a pretty good difference. Though right now, with as stuffed as the upper garage is, it needs a little more love and attention than that. I think what I need to do is there's some stuff that's not working in there, and I think I need to move it out and tarp it well and come back to it in the future. I think that's going to be the way I go with what's going on in this garage to get it cleaned up. And for the lower garage, the Cushman, the one out there with all the stuff on it that you can't really see. Yeah, that Cushman out there. What I need to do with that is make sure I get it, keep it running, keep the battery charged, maybe even keep a trickle charger on it, so that if I want to work down here, I can just fire it up and drive it out. If it's kind of raining or snowing, I could throw a tarp over it, drive it out, and then bring it back in. So then I'll have a spot to work. on this side of the garage, and this side of the garage my tractor needs to get back in here, so I gotta clean up my act here. I was off last week. I took 2 days off last week, and I gotta be honest with you, I didn't get done nearly what I needed to get done. I spent a lot of time fooling around with my son's Toyota, his Corolla. Kind of wasted a day on that, wasted a day with the truck, getting it up there, up to Kingston and get it serviced. I did run some other errands, but I burned a lot of time between the errands and the actual task. So I got to become much more efficient at using my time. I'm just not moving things as fast as I need to be moving them. I'm going to be in the middle of winter here, and let me give you a hint. This driveway is not going to work this winter. It's got to be fixed and finished. All right, folks. I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down and keep your head up. And guys, remember to get out there and enjoy all your days. Take care now. Bye, folks.